All right, hello everybody. Let's get this in line where I need it. Make sure I got everything in view as much as possible. Let's move this back just a hair, and I think that will show. I think that will now show pretty much everything that needs to be shown. This is a reboot of the project I did last year, or at least I started it last year. Went through 10 games or 10 starts with Mark the Bird Fidrych, 1976 replay in inside pitch. Let's see, I think the cards and everything are showing up okay. Let me turn it on my computer so I can see what you're seeing to make sure that it's showing what I want it to show. And from looking on here, it looks like that has been accomplished. All right, so looks like we got it all set up the way I would want it. Before we get going, I'll refresh you on, and refresh myself kind of in some way, what has happened in the first 10 starts as we go back. And also, these videos are on my playlist, so if you want to go back, if you have never seen any of these before on the Fidrych replay, you can go back and watch these. For some reason, game one, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. It's got to be on there somewhere, but it's not in the playlist. But all the others are there if you want to check it out. You can see in the replay so far, comparing his in real life total to his replay total, he's got a 1.58 ERA in the replay, a 2.05 in real life, but his record is better in real life. Obviously better run support, I suppose. More walks and strikeouts in real life than what he's had in the replay. He hasn't given up any home runs yet. Less earned runs, certainly less innings pitched. I haven't pitched him as many innings as he did in real life, but he's given up more hits in less innings than he did in real life. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. It's only been 10 starts, so he's got, you know, counting this one, he's got 19 more to go. So, you know, when you get a larger sample size, anybody knows anything about sample sizes and statistics know the larger sample size you have, the better. All right, so I think we are now ready to get going. Let me move one more thing so that if anybody does happen to come in and join live here, I realize this is not a prime time at almost 4:30 Eastern in the afternoon, but just got off of work at 4, so it makes it a convenient time for me to do this. And then it clears up the airways for those that want to do this in prime time. I'm mainly doing this because it doesn't prohibit me on timing. When I try to record on my phone, it limits me to 45 minutes, and I feel kind of rushed. So now I feel like I can take my time and go through this the way it needs to be done, or the way I preferred it to be done, actually. All right, let's look at the starting lineups for both teams, and these are the as-played lineups from the game played July 9th, 1976. We have Al Cowens in right field, Amos Otis in center, George Brett at third, John Mayberry at first, Hal McRae in left, Jamie Quirk the DH, Buck Martinez behind the plate, Freddie Patek at short, and Frank White at second. On the mound for the Royals will be Dennis Leonard, the right-hander. And in the season 1976, he was 17-10 with a 3.51 ERA. For the Tigers, Ron LaFleur will lead things off in center field. Tom Verizor is the shortstop. Ben Ogilvy's in left. Rusty Staub is in right. Jason Thompson's at first. Alex Johnson, the DH. Aurelio Rodriguez is at third. Pedro Garcia is at second. And the personal catcher for Mark Fidrych, Bruce Kim, is behind the plate. And of course, Mark Fidrych in real life was 19-9 with a 2.34 ERA. And as we said in the replay so far, he is 7-3 with a 1.58 ERA. Hey Dan, how are you doing? Hello Alex, how are you? Haven't missed anything. I was just doing some preambles to get everybody caught up because this is a project that I did last year. It, got through 10 games and it kind of set to the side, concentrate on my White Sox project. Now that the White Sox project is finishing up, I want to do something with inside pitch, so I thought this would be a great thing to do. Sometimes I have, reservations about bringing back something that was old because I feel like people are going to say, well, why didn't you continue this when you were doing it originally? Well, things happen in life, and you don't always, that doesn't always work out for you. All right, so we're going to be ready to go with Al Cowens. He steps in the box. He is the right fielder And he'll be facing Mark Fidrych in this one against Dennis Leonard. I've got the rule book here in case I need a quick reference on something. And as usual, I've got the chart here with all the base running and fielding questions that need to be answered. So here we go. Mark Fidrych going to loosen up that arm from, I think the last video was back in October sometime. So he's had plenty of rest. Let's just put it that way. And here's Al Cowens. Fidrych 1-3 on Fidrych. That is an automatic star line. It means that's an automatic out. To find out what kind of out, we roll 1d6 and check the numbers 1 through 6. It is a 4, which means he grounds to second. And I'm kind of going a little slow just in case people that maybe aren't familiar with inside pitch and maybe want to see not a tutorial, so to speak, but at least maybe the first inning go by a little slower so you can catch the drift of how the game flows. All right, Amos Otis is in center field, number 2 hitter. Fidrych a 5-3, and that's a split chance. You notice there's a blank here, a line, and a K. That means it's a split chance. To the left of the line is when you face a lefty batter. Right of the line is when you face a righty batter. Amos Otis is a righty, so that is a potential strikeout. It's not guaranteed, it's potential. We go to Amos Otis's strikeout column against a right-hander. It's 13. Tiger Stadium adds 1, makes it a 14. So if the D20 is a 14 or less, he strikes out. The D20 is a 4, so that means he will strike out. So just that simple. You don't have to check anything else. It's a strikeout. So 2 up and 2 down for George Brett. And we get a 2-3. And same situation we had in 5-3, except this time George Brett is a lefty batter, so that's considered a blank. When you get a blank on a pitcher card, you just go straight to the batter card, re-roll, and finish the at-bat. So that's what we shall do on George Brett. 5-2, and 5-2 is a star line 6. We go back to the pitcher card for that number 6, and it's a fly out to center field to end the inning. And I won't go this slow the whole game. I'm just doing it for the first inning, just for newer people or people that don't know the rules or kind of shaky on the rules or forgot about the rules or whatever the case may be. And then starting the second inning, we'll pick it up and go normal speed. All right, so Dennis Leonard finishing up his warm-up tosses. We'll be facing leadoff man Ron LaFleur. He's got 58 stolen bases in 1976. His attempts in 8. So if he gets on, he's got a good chance to get that steal. And I am doing the strategy rolls to determine whether somebody gets a jump and attempts to steal, there's a hit and run, or so forth. Hello, Mr. Al, Red Sox fan. How are you doing, sir? I know when I did this back in the fall that you were a big fan of the Birds. So here we go. I decided to bring him back. This is start number 11. We got 29 total starts. Well, 10 are in the book. We got 19 more to go. So here we go. And in case anybody missed it when they first started the video, there's the Mark Fidrych card. His rookie card is obviously not in mint condition, but I remember as a kid getting this card and being very excited that I got that card back in 1977. I was like, man, we got the Bird. But of course, you can probably get this thing for a nickel now. All right, so here we go. Ron LaFleur. 3-4, and the 3-4 is the ballpark card. We got an @ sign. That means we go to the Tiger Stadium. Anytime you have an @ sign, you go immediately to the ballpark card. So there's the ballpark card. I'll bring it over here. Maybe you can see it a little bit better, hopefully. I don't know if that shows up better or not, but we'll find out. And we're going to roll again and check the ballpark card the same way we would check a batter card. If we get a blank, that means it's a rare play. We go to the rare play chart. 3-2. That's an S+8. What that means is the batter gets a single to center field, but he's got a chance to stretch it to a double. Now that's going to be determined by his base running rating and the outfielder's arm. Well, Ron LaFleur has a 4 base running rating, so obviously he's a very good runner. And if we look at the arm rating of the center fielder Amos Otis, you can see here he's got a +2. So I thought he had a better arm than that, but he's not rated very good. That's a +2. That's a total of 6. So when you get a total of 6, that's an automatic advance. There's no throw needed when you get a 6 because you can't get more than 6. So that's going to turn into an automatic double for Ron LaFleur. He uses his speed and the lack of arm from Amos Otis to motor into second with a leadoff double. How about that? All right, so let's do the strategy roll and see if anything comes up. 12, it does not. So there's nothing going on there. No stolen base attempt, none of that stuff, no pickoff, no nothing. You have to have a 20 to have a pickoff chance. And then once you get the 20, then you got to re-roll the D20 and see if it falls in these numbers. Right now, here's Tom Verizor. He could bunt because he's an excellent bunter. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to have him do. So there's a couple ways I think people play bunts, but the way I play it is I go here to this chart, look at his bunt rating, which Verizon is a 5. So I'm going to this 5 bunt rating. We're going to roll 1d20 and check the numbers. If it's a 1 through 16, it's a good bunt. If it's a 17 through 18, that means it's a bad bunt and the lead runner is out. 19 through 20, it's a great bunt and he beats it out. So we're going to roll the d20 plus 1d6 because the d6 will tell us who the fielder is. So we're going to do that and see what happens. We get a 10 and a 4. So 10 means it's a good bunt because it falls within this range. A 4 means it's the first baseman. So it's a sacrifice bunt to John Mayberry. So I'm just going to say that Mayberry just tags him out unassisted on the sacrifice. And LaFleur now goes to third. So now the Royals with an instant decision. Do you bring the infield in or do you play back? And that's a tough call. They are going to bring the infield in because they got to figure they're not going to score many runs against the Birds. So they're going to bring the infield in with 1 out and a runner at third. I think if nobody was out, they'd play deep, but with 1 out, they're going to go ahead and take a chance. So we roll for the strategy roll, and there's no balk or pass ball chance because we didn't get a 20, and he's not going to steal home, obviously. So here is Ben Ogilvie. Infield is in, remember. 3-2. That's a strikeout chance, so it may not matter. 3-2 strikeout chance, and that is a 3, which is much less than the 10. So Ogilvie, a strikeout victim, much needed strikeout for Leonard. And now with 2 outs, the infield can go right back to where they came from as far as playing deep. They can go back play the normal depth. Here's Rusty Staub, La Grande Orange, I think they called him, with LaFleur at third and 1 out. And nothing on the strategy roll, no pickoffs or anything. So see what Staub can do. 5-5, and that's a blank on Leonard's card. So that means we're going to go to Staub's card to finish the at bat. And that's a 1-2, which means it's an S4, means he singles past second, and that will be an RBI single for La Grande Orange, and the Tigers lead it 1-0. Now Rusty Staub, with his attempt rating, he's got an H, so he's not going to go anywhere. It would have to be a hit and run, and we're not even going to worry about that. We will roll the D20 just to see if there's any chance of a pickoff or balk, and that happens if you roll a 20 on the D20. And there's no 20 there, so nothing to worry about. So that brings up the first baseman, Jason Thompson. 4-3 is a potential walk. The walk rating on Thompson is a 17. Stadium adds 1, makes it to 18. That's a 9, so that will be a walk. His 9 falls well within that range of 18. It will be a walk to put runners at first and second with 2 outs. Leonard in some issues here in the first inning. Here's Alex Johnson, the DH. Roll to see if we get that 20. We do not. So here's Johnson. 2-4, and 2-4 is a double question mark. Now when you get the double question mark, you come down here and look at who you're facing. He's facing a right-handed batter. So the right-handed batter says if it's a 1 through 9 on the D20, it goes to a star line. If he's facing a left-hander, it's a 1-11, it would be a single. But this is a right-hander, so it's a 1-9 for a star line. That's a 14. It's out of the range, so we just skip that, consider it a blank, and move on to Alex Johnson's card to finish the at-bat. And that's a 6-3, and that's a ground ball to third, and since that's the third out of the inning, they're just going to go to first to make the play. We could check for a double play had there been less than 2 outs. But that's going to do it. Tigers will score a run thanks to the RBI single from Rusty Staub. And at the end of 1, it's the Tigers 1 and the Royals nothing. So now we'll go to the second, and I'll pick it up now for more normal speed and less explanation. We'll just see about rolling along here literally and figuratively. And leading things off will be John Mayberry, RFD. 4-2, and 4-2 is a strikeout chance. That W would be if he's tired, which obviously he's not in the second inning. So it's a strikeout chance. His strikeout chance is a 10, plus 1 makes him 11, but that's a 14. 14 is out of range of the 11, so no strikeout. We go to Mayberry to finish the at-bat. 2-1, he's got a single to center field, so John Mayberry, leadoff single for Mayberry. He's got an attempt of 1. Fidrych adds or doesn't add or subtract anything to his attempt. He does lose 3 on a steal if he does get the jump, but to get the jump, he has no impact. So this has to be a 1 to get the jump. He does not get the jump, so Mayberry will hold. That brings up Hal McRae. Now the infield will be at double play depth, which means that the range of the infielders will drop by 1, but their double play rating goes up by 1. I hadn't been doing that previously, so I need to start doing that and focusing on that. So here we go, Hal McRae against Fidrych. 3-2, that's a blank on Fidrych, so we're going right to Hal McRae's card. And we get a 3-5. 3-5 is a ground ball to the pitcher. Now here we go. We already said they're playing halfway, so that's going to increase the double play rating by 1. So Hal McRae has a double play rating of 3. Fidrych adds nothing, so that stays at 3. Then we have to figure out who the pivot man is. The pivot man, when it goes to the pitcher for a right-handed batter, the pivot man is the second baseman. In this case, that's Pedro Garcia. He's got a 0 as well. But since they're playing halfway, this bumps this up to a 4. So a 4 is the double play rating. A 5, it'll be a forced play, and a 6, it'll be runner advance with McRae being out at first. But a 4 or less, it's a double play. It's a 1, it's a double play. How about that? 1-4-3. So easily done. 2 outs real quick on that ground ball by Fidrych. 2 outs, bases are clear for Jamie Minute Quirk. He's a DH. 1-5, that's a home run question mark. So here, against a lefty, Fidrych is very susceptible to giving up the home run. So that's a 19. 1 through 19, that's a 6. Doesn't mean he gives up the home run, it just means it's a possibility. Now we're going to re-roll the D20 and check Quirk's home run rating, which is a 6. So if the D20 is a 6 or less on this next roll, it will be a home run. If it's not, then we finish the at-bat on Quirk's card. It's not, but he's not out. This just means he doesn't hit the home run. So now we're going to, it's not like Stratomatic where if he doesn't hit the home run, he's out. It just means when it's not a home run, we're going off Quirk's card now to finish the at-bat as normal. 6-3, that's a pop-up to first. Jason Thompson makes the play and ends the inning. So nothing doing for the Royals. As we go to the Hello Tribe fan, how are you doing? The only thing I don't like about these two teams playing each other is the coloring is almost identical. They both have this navy blue kind of color. The only difference is the Tigers have red in their numbers and their stat line here, where the Royals have blue. Other than that, they look very, very similar. Kind of like it better when they have other teams that have contrasting colors, but that's just the way it goes. All right, bottom of the second we go. 1-0 Tigers, and up to the plate is Aurelio Rodriguez, third baseman, 5-1, and that is blank on Leonard, so that means we go right to Rodriguez. A 2-4, and he grounds to third, George Brett. Right there to make the play. 1 away for Pedro Garcia, second baseman. Helped turn that fine double play in the previous inning. 6-4. 6-4 is a strikeout chance. That's a 14. His strikeout is a 13, but you add 1 from the stadium, makes it a 14. So that gives him the strikeout. So Tiger Stadium caused Pedro Garcia to strike out with that +1 factor. So now there's 2 up and 2 down for Bruce Kim. No relation to Andy Kim. And if you don't know who Andy Kim is, he's a singer back in the 70s that did a song called Rock Me Gently. That's your Casey Kasem moment for the day. All right, 3-1 is a strikeout chance. 19 is way too high. So go to Kim's card. 6-5 is a star line 3, and that's a fly to left. All right, so that's going to do it for the Tigers through 2 complete. It is 1-0. And that'll bring up now current announcer, Buck Martinez. I believe he's announcer for the Blue Jays. He will lead things off against Fidrych. It'll be Martinez, Patek, and White, the bottom third of the order. All right, 2-1 for Fidrych is a possible error. So we're going to re-roll on Martinez's card and check the blue die against the error rating of whatever fielder is going to be checked. So it's a 6-2, which means it's a single to left field. The error, that's an 18, so unless the left fielder has an error rating above 18, it's not going to be an error. Left fielder on Ogilvy is only he's got a 0 rating, so there's no error whatsoever. But the 6-2 means it's a single to left field for Buck Martinez, so he gets the leadoff single. He has an N for an attempt, so he cannot get an attempt anywhere. I will roll the D20 because Fidrych has a pickoff attempt of 1, so the only way to get that pickoff is to get a 20 on the D20. And we don't get it, so we skip that. Now here's Patek. Now again, the infield is in at halfway for double play depth, so the range goes down 1 on ranged plays. but the double play rating gets bumped up by 1. Here's Patek. 2-2 is blank on Fidrych, so we go to Patek. 4-2. 4-2 is a fly to center field, and that's 1 away. That'll bring up Frank White, second baseman. And we'll roll to make sure there's no 20 on there. There's not. All right, here's Frank White. 6-4, and that's again a double question mark. And against a right-hander, 1 to 16 is an automatic star line. That's a 9. It falls within the 16, so that's an automatic out. To figure out what kind of an out, it's a 5, which is a ground ball to third, which means we have to look for the double play. Again, they were playing halfway, so we're going to bump the double play rating up by 1. His double play is a 1, it now becomes a 2. We already know the pivot is 0 and Fidrych is 0. So it's a 1 through 2 for a double play. The BR rating of the runner at first is Buck Martinez, and his rating is a 2. So basically, if it's a 3, 4, or 5, it's a fielder's choice. 1 to 2, it's a double play, or 6, the runner advances and White is out at first. It's a 1, so they got another double play they've turned. How about that? 2 innings in a row, 5, 4, 3 around the horn. The D6 has been kind with those 1s, and that's going to do it. Fidrych gets out of it. He's now faced the minimum because of those double plays. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0, favor of the Tigers, managed by Ralph Houck. All right, top of the order for the Tigers, Ron LaFleur, grounded to second his first trip. 2-6. 2-6 is a blank on Dennis Leonard. Go to LaFleur, a 4-2. That's a star line 3, which is a fly to left. And there's 1 away. So he's gone. Here's Tom Verizor. I'm sorry, I was looking at Al Cowens that grounded second his first time up. LaFleur actually doubled and scored. My bad. I was looking at the wrong side. All right, here's Verizor. He had a sacrifice bunt his first trip. 3-2 is a strikeout chance, but 17 is well above the 10, which is the 9 plus the 1. 17 doesn't fall in that range, so there is no strikeout. We go to Verizor. 4-5, and that is a star line 6, which on Leonard is a fly to right field. 4 out, number 2. And that'll bring up Ben Ogilvy, who had some good years with the Brewers in the future. But in 76, he was with the Tigers. 76 and 77. I think he went to the Brewers in the later 70s. All right, Ben Ogilvy, 2 outs, bases clear. 2-3 is another blank for Leonard, so we go to Ogilvy. And we get another 2-3, and that's a double to right field. D9 says double to right field. So Ben Ogilvy with the double. And he's not going to try to steal third or anything, but we will roll for pickoffs or balks or whatever. And not a 20 on there, so you don't have to worry about it. So now here's Rusty Staub. He had the RBI single. First base is open, but I don't think you're going to walk Rusty Staub. I think you're going to pitch to him. Leonard, 6-5 is a range play at Tiger Stadium. So there's Tiger Stadium. Bring that in a little bit closer. Tiger Stadium. We do a range play at Tiger Stadium. We get a 5-1, and that's a blank. So that means we're going to the rare play with people on base. So men on base, rare play, requires a 2d6 roll. And we read these as the reds are 10s and the whites are 1. So that would be a 51, say. So we're going to roll it and see what happens. We get a 61. 61 says slow roller to the pitcher who possibly bobbles, then possibly throws wild to first. Resolved by rolling against the pitcher error rate, first for the bobble and then for the throw. Well, Leonard has an error rate of 4. So now this is where it's kind of weird because it's supposed to be a range play as well. So we got to figure out whether he even gets to it or not. His range is only a 1. So I don't believe he's even going to get to this. But you got this rare play talking about an error, but if he doesn't get to it, then he can't possibly make a throwing error or a bobbling error. So kind of sometimes some of these things are a little tricky, but since it's a range check, to me that's the first priority. Not above the rare play error is the range check. And we said it was going to the pitcher. And Dennis Leonard, unfortunately for him, his range is only a 1. So this has to be a 1, or else it's going to be an S1. And it is going to be an S1. So Staub will reach, gets by him, and when we check runner advancement, when the ball gets by the pitcher on an S1, to get from second to home, everybody scores. So that's going to be an RBI single for Rusty Staub. He's done it again. 2-0. Both RBIs belonging to Staub. And like I said, to me that overrules the error because you got to do the range play first to see if he even makes an error and gets to it. At least that's the way I'm playing it. As long as you play consistently, I think adding in whatever, I don't even consider it a home rule, it's just my interpretation. So I think as long as your interpretations are and this goes for any game, I think as long as your interpretations are consistent, that's all that matters, and they should be good. All right, so Staub has no chance to steal, but they do have a chance for a pickoff. If he gets a 20, he does not. So here's Jason Thompson, 2 outs and Staub at first. That's a 5-2, which is another blank on Leonard, so we go to Thompson. 4-3 is a liner to short, so that's going to end the inning. Had there been less than 2 outs, we would have checked for a possible line-out double play, but there were already 2 outs. So the Tigers pick up a run. Both RBIs for Legrand Orange, and it's 2-0 in favor of. Hey, Al, like I said, I'm not an expert at this game. If anybody's an expert that's watching this and can let me know how I should have, if I should have checked both things, but to me, if he fails on the range play, it's an S1, the ball goes to center field, then obviously he can't make a bobbling throw to first because the ball's in center field. So that's just my interpretation. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm 100% correct, but it's just the way I interpret it. All right, here's Al. If it made sense, that's almost a minor miracle in itself. All right, here's Al Callens. He did ground to second his first time up. It's a 5-5 on Fidrych, which is a strikeout chance. His strikeout's an 8, plus 1's a 9. 3 is definitely within that range, so it will be a strikeout. So Al Callens down on strikes. And that'll send up Amos Otis. 6-3 is another strikeout chance. AO's a 13, plus 1's a 14. That's a 7, well within the 14. So back-to-back strikeouts. Fidrych's not really a strikeout pitcher, but he got 2 in a row right there. And here's George Brett. Can he strike out the side? 3-5. Probably not now since it's a blank. 3-5 is the blank. And there's no strikeouts on Brett's card, so can't do that. 6-5, though, he will fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So it's a 1-2-3, 4th inning for Mr. Fidrych. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Tigers. Leonard will be facing the DH Alex Johnson. 1-1 on Leonard is a potential walk. That's a 4. His walk is a 5, plus 1 from the stadium is a 6. 4 falls within the 6, so it's a leadoff walk to the DH Alex Johnson. His attempt is a 4. Leonard adds 1, makes it a 5. So if this D20 roll is a 1 through 5, he will attempt to steal. If it's a 6 or a 7, we got a hit and run, and that's pretty much it. That is a 5. So 5 means he will attempt to steal because he had the 4 attempt plus the 1 from Leonard, means he gets the jump. Now we check his steal rating. His steal is a 12. Dennis Leonard's a -1, so that makes him drops into an 11. The catcher Martinez is a 0. So it's a 1 through 11, and he will steal. If it's 12 or more, he's out. If it's a 1, 2, or 3, much like Strat, it's a potential throwing error. And it's a 5, so he steals successfully. Alex Johnson steals second base. So he is at second base with nobody out. And that'll bring up Rodriguez. Make sure we don't get a 20. And we do not. So here's Aurelio Rodriguez. He grounded to third base his first time up. 5-6, hit by pitch. Now Dennis Leonard has a +10 modifier on hit by pitch, so he must have plunked a lot of guys. The hit by pitch on Rodriguez is only a 1, but that's a +10, makes it an 11. And that's a 1, which means Rodriguez is going to get hit by the pitch. Even without the modifier, with that being a 1, he would have gotten hit by a pitch, but the +10 just added that much more. So now you got runners at first and second with nobody out. Could bunt Garcia, but then you got the number 9 hitter coming up, so I think we're just going to swing away with Garcia. And there's a 20. We got the 20, so now we need to roll on Dennis Leonard. If it's a 1 or 2, it's a balk. He's going to balk. If it's a 3 or 9, we have a pickoff. And if it's 10 or 13, we got a pickoff error. If 14 or above, then nothing happens. 17, so nothing happens. So there is no pickoff. So Garcia is still at bat. 3-1's a strikeout chance, but he's a 13, plus 1's a 14, but that's a 15, so no strikeout. Go to Garcia. 2-6 is a star line 2, which is a ground ball to short. The infield was, I didn't mention it, but the infield was at double play depth. So that means we're going to bump up the double play rating by 1. He's a 3. Leonard's a 0, so that adds nothing to it. The second baseman is the pivot, Frank White. He's a 0, so nothing added to that. So it's 1 through 3 for a double play. See if they get the double play or not. 5, they do not, but it will be a force play because 5 is higher than the runner on first base running rating. So it will be a force play. Will be a force play 5-4. Now let me double check this because there is a special rule when it's first and second. So I think I need to go back and roll a d6 again. Let's see. Second to first, double play, try on all grounds except to third base. Ground to third base, roll 1d6. Okay, so I need to roll 1d6. Let me re-roll 1d6. It's a 6. It's in the hole. Double play chance will go to second and then to first. Okay, so if certain go to the force play at third, but this one he's going to go to second. And since we already determined there was a 5, it's going to be a fielder's choice. So it's a 5-4 on Garcia. I'm sorry, on Rodriguez to retire him at second. Sliding into second. Garcia takes the base with the fielder's choice, and Johnson goes to third. Hope that was clear as mud. All right, so runners are now at the corners with 1 out, and the runner on first, Garcia, does have an attempt of 3, so I can't remove him just yet. We're going to see if he gets a jump. 3 plus the 1 is a 4. And it's a 4, so he will attempt to steal. He will attempt to steal second, but I'm not going to have Johnson steal third or try to steal home. It's a straight steal of second. His stolen base is a 9. -1 makes it an 8. So it has to be a 1 to 8 to get the stolen base. And it's a 12. He's caught stealing. So not very good base running there, as there are now 2 outs with just a runner at third. So not wise, but the strategy rolls come up. That happens sometimes. All right, so let's make sure Dennis Leonard doesn't do anything funky with that, and he doesn't. It's no 20. Here's Bruce Kim, 2 outs, runner at third. 5-2, and that's a blank. So we go to Bruce Kim's card. 2-1, it's a single pass third. How about that? Bruce Kim with the base hit. And that makes it 3-0 Tigers. Bruce Kim comes through with a base hit. Now his attempt is a 3, plus the 1 is a 4. So we'll see if he does anything on the base pass. Nope, it's a 10. Nothing's going to happen. So he stays put. And that brings up Ron LaFleur. That is a 6-3. That's potential walk, but that's a 20, so there's no walk. Go to LaFleur. 4-4. That's a question mark 7. Since he's facing a right-hander, we come up here to the question mark. Right here, the 7 means left field. So we're going to see if it's a 12 or less on the D20. That means he gets a hit. 13 or more, he's out. That's an 8. 8 falls into the triple category. I'm sorry, the double category, 4-8. So it's a double for Ron LaFleur. And now the question is, can Kim score? The double went to left field. Left fielder's arm, Hal McRae, is a +1. There are 2 outs. You add another 1 to the BR rating. So that gives him a +2 automatically. And then we check Kim's rating, which is a 2. So now he's up to a BR of 4. Then we check our chart. Double with a runner on first, the double to left field subtracts 1. So that brings him down to a 3. So we're going to roll on this. If the red die is a 1, 2, or 3, then he will be safe. It's a 4 or 5, he holds. If it's a 6, he's going to be out most likely. The white die will determine that. We'll get to the second throw chart if that happens. It's a 2, so he makes it. So Kim will come all the way around to score on the double by LaFleur. It is now 4-0 Tigers. How about that, as some announcer once used to say. Okay, so now that brings up, well, LaFleur's not going to try to steal from third base, so that'll bring up Verizon. We'll roll for Leonard to make sure nothing's happening. It's not. All right, here's Verizon. 4-6. 4-6 is a potential error. See who the error might be on. 5-3 is a fly to left field. The left fielder error rating, McRae, is a 6. That's a 6. That means it is going to be an error. Now, what kind of an error? Well, we go to our failed error chart. Failed error chart. Not on a throw, but on a failed error. So this one's the error chart. This is the error throw chart. But an outfielder drops the ball. 2-base advancement. So that means LaFleur will score from second base on the two-base error by McRae, who's pretty much a DH playing left field, let's be honest. But that's going to cost them, that two-base error on McRae. So that run's going to come in, no RBI given, of course. It's now 5-0 in favor of the Tigers. So now Leonard may be in need of relief here shortly. Here's Ben Ogilvy. Nothing happening there. Ogilvy, 1-1 is a potential walk. That's a 14, which is well above his walk rating, so no walk. Ogilvy finishes the at-bat, 6-5. He grounds to second to end the inning, but a total of 3 runs come in. And after 4 complete, the Tigers taking it to Dennis Leonard, 5-0 through 4. And Mark Fidrych enjoying the run support for sure. All right, here is John Mayberry to lead off the 5th. He did single, but was erased on a double play. 5-5 is a strikeout chance. Mayberry's a 10, plus 1 makes him an 11. That's an 8. 8's less than 11, so he will go down on strikes. 1 away for Hal McRae, who just made that error. 2-3 is a strikeout chance since it's a right-handed batter. That's a 4. His strikeout's a 6, plus 1's a 7. 4 is less than the 7, so another strikeout for Fidrych. And for Fidrych, an unusual 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. Very unusual. He's more of a control, ground ball type pitcher. Here's Jamie Minnick-Quirk. 5-3. He's a lefty, so that's going to be a blank. No strikeout there, just a blank because he's left-handed. And we'll go to Quirk. 6-3. He's going to pop it to first. Jason Thompson there to end the inning. So through 5 innings, Mark the Bird is putting up goose eggs. And that will send us now to the bottom of the 5th. Get my things together here. I was putting people in the wrong spot. These cards look alike, so I was ended up putting the Tiger stack with the Royal stack, and it was very confusing. All right, so Rusty Staub, the batter. And Leonard may be getting close to his pull rating. His pull rating right here is a 13, which is a combination of hits and runs. We've given up 5 runs. So let's see how many hits he gave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Royals is loosening. Look down there, and we got a left-hander. We have a left-hander by the name of Steve Mingori. So Steve Mingori, the lefty, is loosening. Rusty Staub is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. 2-2 is a strikeout chance. Staub's a 6, plus 1's a 7. This is a 6 with that little dot there. It's 6. So strikeout. Brings up Jason Thompson. Walked in line to short. 1-4. It's a wild pitch chance, but with nobody on base, it's considered a foul ball, and you redo it off of Leonard's card. 2-4 is a double question mark. Thompson's a lefty. Double question mark. 1 through 11 is an automatic single. That's a 10, so that means it's a single for Jason Thompson. Jason Thompson with a single. His attempt is a 1. He's a plus 1 for the hold, so it makes an attempt of 2. And we get an 8, so nothing's happening. Now we go to the DH, Alex Johnson. Make sure there's nothing on the 20 for that. Nope. Okay. Actually, I didn't need to roll that twice. The check for the jump on the 20 was sufficient, so I really didn't need to do that twice. All right, 6-3 is a walk chance, and with a 1, that's going to be an automatic walk. So that puts runners at first and second. And I think we're getting very close. There's also a right-hander loosening in the bullpen for the Royals as well. And that right-hander is, ironically, Doug Bird. So Doug Bird is loosening as well. Could be Bird versus Bird. Who knows? Let's see here. Yeah, because actually, no. Yeah, no, it won't be Bird because Bird started the last game. My bad. I've got this thing over here telling me who started the last game. So it can't be Bird. It will have to be Marty Patton. Marty Patton hasn't pitched in a while for them. So it'll be Marty Patton is the right-hander that's loosening. So now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Checking for a 20. There is no 20, so Aurelio Rodriguez, the batter. Infield is at double play depth. Leonard hanging by a thread. 1-4 is a wild pitch chance. The runner's on base, so we will go to his wild pitch. That's a 17, so it's more than the wild pitch and more than the pass ball, so it's considered a foul ball, and we re-roll on Dennis Leonard's card. 2-3 is a blank, so we go to Rodriguez to finish the at-bat. 4-4. 4-4 is a question mark 8. We come up here against the right-hander. A 10 or less, he gets a hit, but that's a 19, so that means he flies to center. We're out number 2. And that's going to send up Pedro Garcia. Nothing on the 20. All right, here's Garcia. 3-5 is a range play, so it's going to be a range play for one of the fielders. Go to Garcia and see who the fielder is. 2-1, Starline 4, which is a ground ball to third. We're checking the range of George Brett. He's a 4. We're going to roll 1d6. If it's a 4 or less, he makes the play. 5 or 6, he does not. It's a 4, so George Brett's up to the task. And since there's already 2 outs, there's no double play to worry about. So they were back at regular depth with 2 outs. Had they been at double play depth, his range would have dropped by 1, and then that would have gotten through for a hit. So very important to be aware of that. But nothing doing there. Leonard survives the bottom of the 5th. That's probably going to be all for him, though. I think they're ready to call it a night for Dennis Leonard. He just didn't have it. And Marty Patton will be the new pitcher for the Royals. Next inning. Right now, Mark Fidrych back out, facing Buck Martinez. 5-4. 5-4 is a range play, so we're going to Buck Martinez for the range play. 1-4 is a question mark 9. That is against a right-hander for Martinez. 4-6 or 1-6 would be a hit. 17's out of that range, or doesn't fall in that range, so it means it would normally be a fly to right field, but it's a range check. So we got to check the right fielder, Rusty Staub. His range is only a 1, so most likely this is going to fall in. Unless this is a 1, it's going to drop in for a hit. It does not, and since it's a failed range play on an outfielder check, we're going to see if it's a double or a single. If it's a 5 or 6 again, it's a double. Anything else will be a single. It's a double, so not only could he not get to it, it's going to drop in for a double. Down in the corner probably. But Buck Martinez reaches, and we'll go to Freddie Patek. And with the score being 5-0 and only 4 innings remaining until the 9th, strategy rolls are now canceled out unless the score gets closer. So no more strategy rolls. So here is Patek. Infield with normal depth, of course. 3-1 is blank on Fidrych. We go to Patek. 3-2 is a Starline 6. And let's see here. Starline 6 is a fly to center. One away. Hello, RJL and BR Wells. If I missed you guys, hello. How are you doing? All right, so one away for Frank White. 2-3. 2-3 is a strikeout chance. His strikeout's an 8. 9 with the +1, that's a 6, so it will be a strikeout. Strikeout number 6 for Mark Fidrych. And as I look at his pitching line for the season on the replay, 7 is his high in strikeouts at Texas in the replay, so he's 1 away from matching his high mark for strikeouts. So if he gets 1 more, he'll tie that. Here's Al Cowens. 2-4, and that's an error on a throw if a throw is necessary. That is a 6-4 on Cowens. That's a single to center, so there's no throw necessary. Oh, take that back. There may not be. Depends on if the runner goes automatically or not. Let's see. There was a runner on second base. Almost forgot about Buck Martinez over there. So the single to center, when you have a single to center field, to get from second to home, you add 2 to the BR of the runner, and the BR from Martinez is a 2, so that makes him a 4. So there will be a throw to the plate, but there might be an error on that throw. A 10 is the error check on the center fielder error. LaFleur is only a 6, so we know there's no error on the throw. But is he safe or out is the question. Now we had a 2 for the BR, +2 for the ball hit to center field, +1 for there being 2 outs. So it's a total of 5. So if this red die is anything other than the 6, he will make it. He does make it. So our shutout is gone thanks to the single from Al Cowens. Cuts the lead to 5-1. And now with 5-1, the strategy rolls are now reinstituted. So let's put Cowens back here. We're going to roll to see if he can get the jump. He's at a 5 attempt. See if he gets a jump to steal. And he does, so he will attempt to steal. That's a 12. May not be the smartest thing, but that's what the strategy rolls say. 12 minus 3 for being held is a 9. Minus 2 from Bruce Kim is a 7. So 1 through 7, and he will steal successfully. 8 or more, he's out. And Whitey's going to look at him like he's crazy. And Whitey will give him a talking to, I'm sure. So Al Cowens is out of there to end the inning. Obviously not a smart play there, down 5-1. But that's what happens when you use a strategy roll. Sometimes those things happen. I probably could have made the command decision to override it, but I decided to go with it. All right, so Marty Patton is now the new pitcher for the Royals here in the 6th. Dennis Leonard, a rough outing to say the least. 5 runs, and 4 of them were 1 unearned on the 2-base error by McRae, but the other 4 were totally earned. All right, here's Bruce Kim. He is 1 for 2, single and fly to left against Marty Patton. 3-3 on Patton is a hit by pitch. Will he hit a guy to start the game? He will, because even though Kim's got a 0, he's got a +1 modifier, and that is a 1. So Marty Patton and hits the first batter he faces, and Ralph Houck not exactly thrilled about that. So Bruce Kim might try to steal on him. He's a 3, +3 hold rating makes it a 6. And that's a 1, so he's definitely going to get the jump. His stolen base is an 11, +2 makes him a 13. Martinez is a 0. So 1 through 13, and Bruce Kim will get revenge with a stolen base. And of course, he gets caught stealing, trying to get greedy. So Buck Martinez throws him out. 1 away. And now that Ron LaFleur with the bases empty, he's doubled twice. He's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. 6-6 is a range play. See who the range is on. 3-1 is a double to center field. It could be his 3rd straight double, but the center fielder, Amos Otis, could stop that. But strangely enough, Amos Otis is given the worst range rating they have, which is a 1. I thought he had better range than that, but I'm not going to question their ratings right now. I don't have the stats in front of me to disprove anything, so we're just going to let it go. So we're going to roll, and if it's a 1, then Otis makes the catch. If it's a more than 1, it's a double for LaFleur, his 3rd of the game. And it's his 3rd of the game. It's a double. So now that caught stealing really comes back to bite him, because he probably would have scored on that. But that's just the way it goes. But a 1-out double for LaFleur, his 3rd double of the game, brings up Verizon. And since he has no balk, pickoff, or pickoff error ratings, and we know that LaFleur is not going to try to steal, I'm not going to bother with the strategy roll in this one. 4-2. That's an automatic star line against a right-handed batter. So now we need to see what the star line is. It is a 1, which is a fly to left. So that's out number 2. No chance for LaFleur to get to 3rd on that. And that's going to bring up Ogilvy. 2-6 is blank on Patton. Ogilvy 3-2. He grounds to first. Mayberry makes the play. And the inning is over. So 6 innings are in the books here at Tiger Stadium, and it's still 5-1. Tigers seemingly comfortably in front. Amos Otis will lead things off. He is 0 for 2. He struck out twice trying to avoid a hat trick. 3-4. 3-4 is a star line. That's an automatic out. Let's see what kind of out it is. It's a 5, which means he grounds to 3rd. So Rodriguez retires Otis. 1 away for George Brett. And Brett has flied to center and flied to left. 6-3, strikeout chance. That's a 5, +1's a 6. That's a 6. So Fidrych just tied his season high with 7 strikeouts. He has tied his season high in the replay with 7 strikeouts. Looking to try to get that 8th one. Here's Mayberry. 6-4, that's a double question mark against the lefty. 1-5 is a star line, but that's a 16. Against a right-hander, that would have been an out. Against a left-hander, no out. We go back to Mayberry. 3-1, and it's another split chance. And against a right-handed pitcher for Mayberry, that's a single past second base. So 2-out single for Mayberry. As I really butcher that B there. All right, so Mayberry's got an attempt of 1. Do we really want to try to steal here? Well, I have to roll the strategy just to see if there's a pickoff roll. There's not. So Mayberry will stay put. Here's Hal McRae. 1-2 is a strikeout chance, but 12 is much higher than the 7 that would have been done on McRae. So we go to McRae's card. 5-5, Starline 6. That's a fly to center. LaFleur hauls it in. So 7th inning stretch we go. 5-1. Tigers in front of the Royals. ABR from Prince Edward. All right, good to go. Since the 7th inning stretch, I'm going to take a quick little 15 to 20 second break and catch my breath and see if anybody has any questions in the chat on the game. If you're not that familiar with Inside Pitch, I'll try to answer whatever question I have. If not, then I'll wait. After a few seconds, I'll just start the bottom of the 7th. It would help to get the right team batting. And that's another thing. These colors are very, very close together, so it's very easy to get them mixed up. All right. In the car and on the way home, Al. Very good. Well, don't do like I do with Rob exclamation points videos when I'm driving home, or when I used to drive home from work and he would be on. I'd try to text while I was driving. Not very smart, obviously. Pulled it off. I'm still here. There's no accident, but probably not the best thing to do. So listening is quite okay. I will try to be, I'm not that entertaining, but I'll try to be informative. All right, so here is Rusty Staub, 2 for 3. 3-4. 3-4 is would be a single if he's tired. Those parentheses only come into play if he's tired. He's not tired, so we move on to Rusty Staub's card. That's a 3-2. It's a ground ball to short. Patek makes the play. One away for Jason Thompson. 5-3 is a strikeout chance. He's only a 12 and a 1 is a 13. That's a 17, so well out of range for that. Thompson's card, we go. 3-4 on Thompson's card. He's going to pop it up to Mayberry at first. 2 down. And that'll bring up the DH, Alex Johnson. All right, 4-2 is a star line. See, it's a right-hander. He's a right-hander, so the split chance means that's a star line. And we go on to the star line 2, which is a fly to center. I appreciate that, RJL. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Welcome aboard. We just finished 7 innings of play. Tigers in front 5-1 as they have knocked Dennis Leonard out of the game. But Mark Fidrych, going strong, has tied his replay high with 7 strikeouts, trying to get that 8th one. He can face 34 batters. That's his fatigue rating. He's only faced right now a total of 23. So unless he starts having trouble, he's well on his way to yet another complete game. So, and I believe he had like 24 or 25 complete games in real life, so definitely not unusual. All right, so here's Jamie Quirk. He did something unusual. He's popped to Jason Thompson twice, both at bats. Start the top of the 8th. 2-6 is blank on Fidrych. So we go to Quirk. 1-3. He's going to single past second base, so he sneaks it by Garcia. 1 out or no out single, leadoff single for Quirk. He has no attempt rating, so there won't be any jazz of that. We'll roll to make sure there's no pickoff chance. There's not. So here's Buck Martinez, and Buck Martinez has singled and doubled. He's 2 for 2. Infield is at double play depth. 4-6 is a hit by pitch chance. He's got a 0. Mark Fidrych is a -4, so that means he cannot be hit, period, no matter what this die says, because you got a -4. So no hit by pitch. We go to Martinez. 2-4 on Martinez. Starline 6, which is a fly to center. So Buck Martinez flies it to Ron LaFleur, 1 away for Freddie Patek. Freddie Patek. 6-1, and that's a walk chance. That slash to the right means it's a right-handed batter has a chance to walk. His walk is a 17, +1 from the stadium's an 18, but that's a 19, so Fidrych will not walk him. Even though Patek did seemingly walk a lot against righties, he won't do it here. So we finished the at-bat on Patek, 4-2, another fly to center. So that's 2 down, and that's going to bring up Frank White. Now the infield will go back to normal depth for Mr. White, and And actually, Patek now has flown out to center field all 3 times. I just noticed that. All 3 of his outs are number 8s there. White's had a rough day. He's hit into a double play and struck out. And we get a 6-3. That's a strikeout chance, but 15's way too much, so Fidrych will have to wait on that 8th strikeout. Here's White, 3-1. He's got a single pass second, so don't have to worry about strikeouts. A single pass second. And if we go to our chart for base runner advancement, when it's an S4, to get from first to third, you need a BR rating of 3 through 6. So the BR rating of the runner at first, Jamie Quirk, is a 1. Now there are 2 outs, so it bumps him up to a 2, but he's still going to fall short of the 3 through 6 needed, so he will have to stop at second base. The outfitter arm does not come into play on that. So now we go to Al Cowens with 2 on and 2 outs. Roll again for the, make sure there's nothing on the D20. There's not. So here's Al Cowens. 3-1 is blank on Fidrych. We go to Cowens' card. 1-2, that's a star line 2, which is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Fidrych pitches around a couple of hits, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we will get a new pitcher for the Royals as Patton is done. And they're going to bring in Steve Mingori, the lefty. Steve Mingori will come on and pitch this 8th inning. Try to keep things right where they are. Steve Mingori will face Rodriguez, Garcia, and Kim, bottom of the order for the Tigers. In the bottom of the 8th, they lead it 5-1. 4-6 for Mingori is a strikeout chance, but 19 on the D20 is much too high, so no strikeout. And again, now that he's a lefty, I got to start looking at strikeouts under the lefty, not at the righty, but in this case, it didn't matter anyway. So we go to Rodriguez, 4-4. That's a question mark 8. Against a left-hander, it's a 1 through 7 to get a hit. That's a 15, so no hit, which means it's just going to be a fly ball to center field. So hauled in out there by by A.O. Amos Otis for out number 1. Here's Garcia. 5-3, and that's another hit by pitch chance. His hit by pitch factor is a +7. That's a 12. That's a total of 19. That's an 8. Definitely going to be a hit by pitch. And Ralph Houck not happy again. That's the second time he's had a batter hit by pitch in this game. So no retaliation thus far from Fidrych, but still can't be happy. All right, Garcia has an attempt of 3. Mingori's a -2 on the hold, so this has to be a 1 for him to get anywhere. And it is. He got the jump on a 1, believe it or not. But now he's in trouble. 9 for a stolen base, -2 from Mingori's a 7. Martinez is a 0, so this has to be a 7 or less, or he's out. And he's out, caught stealing. So there you go. Okay, that's the second time he's gotten caught stealing today. So strategy roll giveth and strategy roll taketh away. All right, here's Bruce Kim, 2 outs, bases clear. 3-2, and that's the @ sign, which means we're going to Tiger Stadium for the result. 2-4. 2-4 is a fly to right field, so Kim flies to right, and that ends the inning. So 1-2, well, not a 1-2-3 inning because the stolen base came into play, or caught stealing came into play. But Mingori does his job, keeps the Tigers off the scorebook. And we go to the 9th. Mark Fidrych going for that complete game and also trying to get that 8th strikeout, that elusive 8th strikeout that he needs. But he's definitely going to lower his ERA if he keeps it up, because his ERA into this game is 1.58. And if he pitches a shutout this inning, his ERA will be 1 for the game, so it will definitely lower. And he's going to deal with the heart of the order, Amos Otis, George Brett, and John Mayberry. And we'll see what happens here with Fidrych. 5-1. We go to the ballpark again. That's another @ sign, so we're going to Tiger Stadium for the AO at bat. 6-1. That's a home run to center field potentially. The home run rating is a 17. That's a 17. The ballpark adds nothing, takes away nothing. So Amos Otis just homered to center field to start the 9th. So that's what happened on those ballpark checks. It says home run center field. You check the batter home run rating against the D20. They match in this case, 17. Had this been an 18 on the D20, he would have flown to center, and that would have been out because that would have been a fly to center. But in this case, He passed the check. Sometimes the stadiums will add one or take one away, but Tiger Stadium has a 0. So Amos Otis home run makes it 5-2. And now all of a sudden John Hiller for the Tigers is loosening in the bullpen just in case Fidrych needs it. And here comes George Brett. Fidrych has now faced 29 batters. He can face 34. So unless he really gets into trouble, he should be able to finish this game. Here's Brett. 3-3, and that's going back to the ballpark again. That's going to these ballpark cards are results maybe getting to Fidrych here. So we're going back to Tiger Stadium for George Brett's at bat. That's a 6-6, and that's a home run to the opposite field check. But this time it won't happen. George Brett's a 6 on his home run rating against righties. That's a 7, so it will not be a home run. It'll be a fly out to left field because the O there means opposite field. So for a left-hander, he hit it to left field, but not quite deep enough going the opposite way, and that's hauled in by Ogilvy for 1 away. So Fidrych just barely escaped the second home run off that Tiger Stadium card. He's trying to get something other than off of the Tiger Stadium card if he can help it. Here is Mayberry, RFD. 6-5 range play for Fidrych. 1-3 is a fly to center, but we're checking the range of the center fielder LaFleur, who's a 3. So we're going to roll 1d6. If it's a 1, 2, or 3, he makes the play. 4 through 6, it drops in. It could be a double. It's a 4, so it does drop in. If we roll again and we get a 5 or a 6, it's a double. 1 through 4, it's a single. It's a single. So John Mayberry, 1 out single. Now his attempt is a 1. I don't know if we're going to... I may have to overrule this because I don't think... well, we do need to roll the D20 and see if there's a pickoff, so how about that? Nope, nothing happening. Actually, that 3 means it's a hit and run because that's 2 more than the 1. So technically, when you roll 2 higher than what the attempt is, it's a hit and run. So Hal McRae is up to bat in a hit and run situation. We go to Fidrych's card first. 4-2, strikeout chance. And he will strike out. That is strikeout number 8. He matched his total because that's a 4. So that is a strikeout. And on the hit and run, that means this turns into a steal for John Mayberry. So we go to John Mayberry. Look at his steal. His stolen base is a 12. -3 from Fidrych is a 9. -2 from Kim is a 7. So if this is a higher than a 7, we got to strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the game. It's a 19. So we got to strike him out, throw him out to end the game. How do you like that? Obviously, that's not good strategy, but I went by the strategy rolls, and that's what the strategy rolls say. So you live by the strategy rolls, you die by the strategy rolls. And that's going to finish up the ball game. Tigers win it by the score of 5-2. Winning pitcher, of course, is Fidrych. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in his numbers here in this start. He does go 9 innings, giving up 2 runs. They were both earned. One was he gave the first home run of the year. Let's see how many. He improves to 8-3. We do know that. His ERA for the game is 2 because 2 runs in 9 innings. So his ERA will take a slight bump for the season. Let's check his hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. So he gave up 9 hits. Check his. I think he walked. I don't think he walked anybody. He did not walk anybody. And we know he had 8 strikeouts because that was his season high. His previous season high was the 7 up here. So I got to go in now and update these on the Excel spreadsheet. But he is now sitting at 8-3, and he lost this game in real life 1-0. So he was 9. He is 9-2 in real life. I'm 8-3 on the replay, with ERAs that are pretty close to each other. So far, Inside Pitch is doing the replay pretty good. So we shall see. The next start for Fidrych will be against the Oakland A's. And it'll be Mike Torres for the Oakland A's against Mark Fidrych. It'll again be at Tiger Stadium. And that's going to be a replay of the July 16th game. This game was July the 9th. And I believe the All-Star break might have been in between these. So that's why there's 7-day gap there. I think it's because of the All-Star break, but I could be wrong. I don't have that information in front of me. to see, but that seems to be the biggest gap that he has on his starts, on all his starts. So it will be Oakland as the opponent, as he's in Detroit taking on the A's to see what he can do. He's 8-3 in the real season. He was 9-2, and in the replay he's now 8-3. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch. It's a really, not to be a salesman for them, but it's a really neat game, and you can get a PDF copy of it for $7 with a couple of teams. You can get the computer version for free on a demo if you like, but you can get all the rules and the 2008 World Series teams for $7 in a PDF, and try it and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, no sweat. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the fact that you have the pitcher-batter interaction, much like in Payoff Pitch. However, unlike Payoff Pitch, the pitchers are rated lefty-righty splits, where in Payoff Pitch they are not, and that's something I think Payoff Pitch. It's been people have been talking about that for bugging the owner about that, or the guy who creates Payoff Pitch, and he ain't changing it. So you live with that. The downside on Inside Pitch is if the batter has less than 30, I think it's less than 40 at bats against a particular side, then he is rated as a neutral player on both sides. So each game has their ups and downs. Some people don't like this grid method. I don't have any problem with it. I think it works well. But it's all up to personal preference. I mean, the good thing about this, we have so many choices. You have Strat, you have Payoff Pitch, you have Inside Pitch, you have APA, you have History Maker Baseball, you got Pine Tar Baseball, you got Triple Play Baseball, you've got MPNG Plus, you've got Status Pro. I mean, there's a plethora of baseball games out there to scratch every itch that you might have. So, important thing is just to have fun in the hobby and enjoy what you're doing. So, there's your star of the game, Mark Fidrych. He improves to 8-3 on the season with a complete game victory, 5-2 over the Royals. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I don't know if my next video will be the White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners, or whether it be another bird. It's probably going to be the White Sox and Mariners this weekend, most likely, because they hit the road to play Seattle in the Kingdom. So I'm most likely will do a video on that. And Fidrych may very well come out on something like Monday. I'm not sure. Don't want to commit to anything because I don't know what my schedule is going to be like, but that's kind of what I'm planning to do. So take care, everybody. Stay safe out there. Enjoy others that are creating their content and putting it online. Give them a check out on their videos. Give them a like. And if you haven't subscribed to their channels, please do so. And I want to thank, again, Tribe Fan, BR Wells, Al Red Sox Fan, RJL. Did I miss who? I know I'm missing people up front. I got to go back to the beginning of the chat because I know I'm missing people. Brandon Baker, Dan P, Alex M. I think I got everybody. I think that's everybody. Hope I didn't miss anybody. I apologize if I did, but I'm going down the list. I don't see anybody else. So take care, everybody. Stay safe out there. Weekend's almost here. Tomorrow is TGIF. So hopefully you can enjoy the weekend. And stay safe out there. Treat everybody kindly. And until next time, I will see you all down the road.